All right, so let's talk about the All Stars. The All Star rosters were announced, and just a tidbit: when I searched All Star NBA, just to like have a
Mhm.
thing of everything, the top comment was Hoops Hype saying Austin Rivers holds the record for most years in NBA without a single All Star vote. Did you have to write that article? That feels unnecessary.
That hurts.
That's rough.
But let's talk about the players who actually got got All Star votes and are playing on February 16th. All right, do you want to start us off with your thoughts on? I guess let's start with the East. We're the Celtics show in theory, but we talk about everything. So let's go with the East, and then Jack, I'll get your opinion on the West, and then vice versa.
Yeah, the East wasn't actually as interesting to me in All Stars, just in the sense that I think the West, there were just a couple guys I felt like got snubbed a little bit. Well, we got Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell. I think that probably makes sense. I'd have to dig a little deeper. I can't think of anyone who probably deserves the spot over either of those guys, especially with how well the Cavs are doing. And, Brunson's just been phenomenal the past couple of years. You can't really debate that. And then obviously I think Tatum, like you've got to have Tatum in there. And then I think the other forward is Giannis. Obviously that's not arguable. And then Cat, I think we've talked about it. I've never been the biggest Cat fan. When he first came to the league, I really liked him because, a guy that good of a center who's that good at shooting, even if it's at a somewhat, I haven't looked this year. It's always been at like kind of a Dirk volume, but there's way more threes in the NBA today. But he's been really good this year. He's probably arguably a top 15 or 20 player right now.
I'd say.
Yeah, some people might even put him in the top 10 right now. I think that is a little like presumptuous, but he's reminded us what a good player he is. He definitely deserves that center spot. I can't think of anyone else. So I think all of those I don't really think there's a strong case for anyone to start over any of those guys. I think didn't LaMelo Ball win the fan, or he was winning the fan one? I wonder what happened with that.
Me too. He honestly, like, if that's the only thing that I would have a qualm with potentially is where does LaMelo he's going to be there most likely. I think you probably see him, and if I had to guess, maybe Ja as backup guards, maybe Darius Garland.
No, Ja's West.
Oh, I did say, I'm sorry, my mindset's on the West already. Yeah,
Tennessee is
I'm ready to go
on the east part of the country, yet they're in the West.
Yeah, don't get me started on that alignment there. Yeah, but I think. Yeah, when it comes to, I guess you're right, Ryan. I don't see anyone typically outside of that. Cat averaging 25 and 14 is kind of crazy, though.
Yeah, very good. And what? How many assists? Like 4 or 5?
Yeah, 4.5, I think, something like that. 4 point. I don't see it. I don't have it up in front of me, but it was good. I'll say that.
Those are potentially first team NBA numbers
for sure. It wouldn't surprise me.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about the West. Jack, do you want to start us off there?
For sure. I think this is a little bit of a legacy West. And I said it before we started recording, a little bit of a legacy like all-star game more than anything else. I don't know. I guess I can look back at Ja, and now that we're in the West, say like, okay, maybe he deserves a spot. Just looking at some numbers, we've got unsurprisingly backcourt of Steph Curry and Shea. I think that's maybe where you can. I think we look at Steph's legacy numbers and you say, okay, like Steph is elite. Again, Ryan said it before we started recording, that Golden State Warriors team would be so bad without him. So like he's still putting up good numbers. I think Ja might be putting up better numbers. I don't know if that's debatable, I think, right? I think Ja's averaging more rebounds. I think he's averaging less points and assists. So pick your poison, basically. Shea is just an MVP candidate. So it would be very surprising not to see him on that roster. So that's your starting backcourt. I think then you look at the front court being the Nikola Jokic, Kevin Durant, LeBron James. That's where we get further into the legacy argument of, okay, sure, Jokic, unsurprising, I think, for anybody, right? He's averaging a triple-double with 30 points per game. stupid, but it's going to be stupid until he retires. It feels like at this point.
Mm.
Did you guys see that shot he made the other day? It was
my God,
full court, just threw it crazy.
What's even
He's
worse?
incredible. He's like just one of a kind. He makes it look effortless, like his, come out of his personality, and he just like, he's just such a rare commodity. I mean, and it's absurd because it's like every year, it's just like even this year, I have to look, but like I think he probably deserves the MVP right now.
He should. Joel can't whine about it this year, so I think what's nice about that is it should be Jokic, unless they like want to gatekeep that award again and give it to like the people crying about Shea. So
also just look at like the big thing is like, I mean, he won a championship with Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray as the best players.
Right.
Even Aaron Gordon, like people were kind of like, oh, he's a guy who could put up numbers on a shitty team, kind of, and isn't really that usable. He's turning these guys all into like very viable players. And that's not to say that like people were thinking like a year or two ago, Jamal Murray was a top 15 player in the NBA, which I think he's
right.
I think he's maybe a top 30. I don't think I never see it going beyond that personally.
The roller coaster for Jamal is like it has been like this for a while, and it's been like here for a while. So like
he's literally just a volume scoring guard, but he's
bad efficiency and shot
selection. He's a little more inconsistent than other guys, and he's a lot more for like I guess he's a combo guard, right? That's why he fits well at Jokic. He is kind of dependent on, you have to get him going, like, right? He needs to be in the right, like, mode. So, like, Jokic is perfect for that. And then you look, too, with Jokic this year, the fact that, Westbrook, right? Everyone thought he was kind of out of the league. Now he's like, oh, maybe he's kind of a scrappy bench player. This is probably his last run, though, in Denver. And last I checked, they lost last night, but prior to that, I think they were something like 18-5, and since they had put Westbrook in their starting lineup, and they're playing phenomenal together. It just kind of shows like Jokic can kind of unlock whatever potential a player has right now.
That's so elite of him, right? Well, we knew again. The Jokic choir is us, right? Like I think we will all preach he's insane. I think Kevin Durant also, just to go back on that, like I think that probably makes sense for the West. I don't think LeBron does. I think that should probably be his teammate, frankly, who is putting up better numbers at a higher volume usage and just shot percentage than LeBron. But this is LeBron. In fairness, there might be some consideration of, oh yeah, by the way, he's 40. Like that might be this is unprecedented. Anthony Davis, don't you worry, you'll get yours, right? Like more of that. But he's no spring chicken either. So I don't know. It seems to me like it's a little bit of just, I know everybody gets voted in and all that, and this is sort of a like, if I'm a fan of the East and I go and fill out my West bracket, I pick the dudes that I assume will have been crushing it. And I guess you can't say that for like a million votes, but it sure feels that way.
I think that makes sense. Are we back to the East versus West format this year?
Yep.
Yeah, all right, that's what I thought. So that'll be interesting. I wish they would let everyone play in their own jerseys. That was always fun.
Oh, I love that. So good.
It was it's like a pickup game,
It's kind of cool, yeah.
Yeah, so anything else on this one before we get on out of here?
My major snub, my bad. I totally forgot Victor Wembanyama. He should be in that starting lineup over KD. Yeah,
I was gonna throw that in. That I was like, I disagree with the KD. I think that's like one. Honestly, I think KD's very popular in general. Obviously, like I think like him and Kyrie are two. Like even when they're on the Nets, right? They always get like slotted in there for the starters. Kind of like we talked about. LaMelo gets a little bit of that as well. Yeah, I think Wemby over KD just because, I'd have to look at the blocks Wemby's averaging, and
4.
It's his second year, and with the defensive stuff, he's also like averaging like 25, like 12 and 4. He's already like playing, you know what I mean? He's already putting up the numbers like a bona fide star, and I think part of the All-Star game is watching. Like that is the argument, right, for like someone like LaMelo. It's like if the All-Star game, right? That's why sometimes, like if Kyrie a couple years ago, like Kyrie got a slot, and it's like, all right, if Kyrie's actually playing and he puts up numbers, I can see the argument. Oh, he is one of the most incredible, funnest players to watch, right? I mean, Wemby is definitely that right now. You know, he is like the new age version of like a KD. You know,
yeah,
but like also way more of a two-way player.
Way more.
You know, just no insult to KD. Wemby already won Defensive Player of the Year's rookie year, which is insane. So, yeah, I think – and to go back on the LeBron thing, I think the argument there is I personally think I would have voted for AD. I didn't vote this year, but I would have voted for AD just in the sense of I feel like for AD, he's doing a really good job of playing games, being consistent. It's just nice to see. I know it sounds kind of ridiculous. It's like, it's AD. Like, it's like a guy starts showing up to work all the time. You're like, he deserves Employee of the Month. Give it to him.
Yeah, yeah.
But honestly, I do. I would have gone with AD, but I think the argument is, all right, but on this team, who is always the best player? LeBron has to be the best player, like just in case AD slips up, right? And, once LeBron retires, is AD doing this on his own? Like a lot of people would probably be doubtful, right? So it's like this might be the last time we get to vote LeBron like this. Every time he's this good, we should vote him in. And that's the same thing with Steph. The only thing is I think Steph, it's a little bit of a stronger case with the numbers he's putting up. And he's younger. He's much younger.
Yes.
But yeah, those are my only takes on the West.
I can't believe
the only other case you could make on the East, I just realized, you can't make it because of, I believe, injury. But if Paolo or Franz didn't get injured, there is an extreme one where if people really like to kind of hate on Tatum, you could be like maybe one of these guys, putting up crazy numbers and on a competitive team with less talent. I think that's an argument someone would make if neither of them have gotten injured.
I agree.
I don't really think it's necessarily fair, right? Tatum's more proven, is more of a defensive player, but I do think it is an argument someone could make.
For sure.
All right. Well, with that, Jack, where can they find you online? Anything you want to plug? Floor is yours.
I think best place to find me online is on Twitter or X, and that's at Jack_Tiernan. So follow me there. We'll be tweeting through the Super Bowl, tweeting through everything at this point. So I'll be there.
Tweeting through it.
Tweeting through it. Tweet through the
pain. How I feel. Ryan, same thing. Anything you want to plug, or where can people find you?
I got nothing.
Nothing? All right.
You can't find me anywhere. I'm not.
I'd say I appreciate that. I wish I'd never been, sucked into Twitter when I was young and naive.
Yeah, I'm glad I never did.
18 years later, still on this hell site that gets worse by the day.
It does.
You can follow me on it if you're also on it at the fake BMAR, BMARR. I'm going to start writing for dolphinstalk.com. I have my first blog up there today. Go check it out. That's the one titled What the Dolphins Can Learn from the Conference Championship Games. Would really appreciate it if you checked that out. Other than that, main channel, Wicked Good Everything. This channel, Wicked Good Sports, and our podcasting channel is Better Radio. Guys, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having us, Brad.
Yeah, thank you, Brad. As usual, pleasure.
Of course. And we'll see you all in the next one.